Hey, it's Tyler O'Hara, King of the Baggers. Be sure to like and subscribe on YouTube.
We are now under starters orders. As always, when the red lights go out, we go racing. They're on, revs are up. We're green. Royal Enfield Build Train Race underway for 2023. And there you see the number 1 on that sort of teal fairing. That is reigning champ Kaylee Bike, but it looks like the top qualifier on that black and gold machine of Michaela Moore is going to lead him down into turn 1 and up to the inside from way back. Sonia Lloyd, who was in 5th, Freddie, jumps up into that 3rd spot. That was a great start.
Yes, it is, and you can see, as you were talking about Michaela, she has really been a shining star so far in our program, starting with testing and training in Crescent, and she's gotten used to this bike. You know, the BTR program, the Royal Enfield GT650 is it's an older type design, a really great bike. The Harris chassis, which is the Harris Frame Company, has been around many years, and Royal Enfield owns that company now, and they do all the development of the chassis, so it's a very good handling bike.
Speaking of which, a great move, Sonia Lloyd making that bike handle beautifully with an overtake down into turn 5, and that puts her up into 2nd spot, making that pass on Kaylee Bike. So she is on the move early here.
You can see that was a great pass. We've been talking about one thing I've been working with them in since training is really about getting better on the brakes, getting the bike under control, running more speed. Looking at the lap times for the returning riders from last year, granted the track's been repaved, but some of them running 20 seconds a lap faster.
Oh, look at this. Kaylee Bike fighting right back down into turn 8. Great overtake. She flowed a lot of speed down through turn 7. That's a deceptively quick off-camber track, and I think a little previous knowledge here paid off for her there.
Yeah, as you can see, Kyle is the reigning champion. She knows this year she's being pushed. She knows that Michaela is really up to standard as far as the pace. Sonia, a new rider this year, young student. These are incredible riders. It's been inspiring for me working with them, seriously. And I really enjoy it. They absorb and they listen and they go out and try and they trust. And each time they get on the bike, they get faster.
Well, you know, they may not have the experience, but that doesn't mean they don't have the passion and desire, and you know, that's inspirational for anybody for sure. And now Kaylee's starting to open it up, and Crystal Martinez is coming after Sonia Lloyd for that final spot on the podium. They are side by side down to that little bend, and I think Crystal had to just ease off for a second. So there just wasn't room for 2 bikes there, so Sonia continues to hang on to that 3rd spot. But one of the things I was going to ask is, you know, for Kaylee and for the riders that came back this year, having Michaela with her pace, that gives them the carrot. Now
Absolutely.
They know, okay, you can ride a bike that fast. We just have to find it.
Well, you notice we have 2 of each. We have 2 returning riders and 2 new riders that are in the top 4, and so it's an interesting battle of the experience and younger riders, with Sonia and Michaela both being younger out of the 2 youngest out of these 4 riders. You know, her dad, she works, Michaela works as a motorcycle mechanic at her dad's shop, so she's around it all the time, and she certainly knew when we were building the bike, she caught on to that very well.
Problem for Kaylee Bike. She had worked her way back into 2nd, and then had dropped back a little bit, got passed by both Sonia Lloyd and Crystal Martinez, and now at this point, we're getting a report from race control that it looks like it's a mechanical.
What goes into the choosing process?
That's a very good question. Well, one of the things we look for is that it was really hard, Roger Lee, to narrow it down to those 11 to get to 6. I couldn't believe, and there was inspirational little media stories they sent us, and we reviewed it, and you know, their stories and background and desire to want to ride a motorcycle, learn how to ride, build a bike, and it's their presentation, a little bit of experience. It's not about racing experience. You know, this is more than that.
She has got a huge margin. Going to check out and see what that margin is here. And you know, this is just obviously letting Sonia and Crystal and Aubrey and Ashley know what they've got to overcome here. And it's 15 seconds here that she has been able to put on them. And she just looks good on that bike. Everything, she's doing everything right.
She, like I said, from the very beginning, she was very smooth. As we see the battle with Sonia and Crystal, it's impressive, obviously, as Sonia has stepped it up. And they all all know that Michaela, certainly at this point, is the rabbit, you know, that they're trying to chase down, and it's pushing them all to step it up. And the other thing I like is that because they've actually been more consistent in the training part that we've done, it's allowed us and them to be able to help them with bike setup, be more consistent and helpful with that.
And then you look here, you can see them even working the draft now. Each lap, you can tell how much more comfortable they get drafting and out braking, and you know, back to the, you know, the ladies. Everybody has their own personal goal.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's what they're going for. Some people come here not wanting to win, but they just want to gain confidence or get a top 5 or a podium.
Absolutely.
So everybody has their own, you know, own target for the weekend, and I think that's what's really cool about this.
Yes. You know, when I announced I was doing it, and I was going to the Grand Prix, obviously, season, I've had like Jack Miller come and go. Fred, that's the coolest thing, you know, doing that, and or Lucho Cecchinello, you know, of course, the LCR owner. And because the thing is, it's exactly right, Roger Lee. There's so many different personalities here, and they're from different walks of life, and they have different purposes for doing it. And that's the part that we like to encourage.
Big wiggle there from Sonia. Little bit too hot, down into 8, and Crystal just sneaks on through. But Sonia pushing the envelope here.
Almost like possibly she might have went back an extra gear through there, maybe.
Okay.
Like when she let the clutch out, it kind of
looked like it locked
possibly.
up the rear a little bit. Yeah.
But if that was what happened, she did a great job recovering it, pulling the clutch in.
Now, you know what? When you have a moment like that, you know, that's one of those those gut check things. How hard do you come back? You know, and how fast do you come back from it and shake it off? And looks like she's just dropped the hammer.
Well, unfortunately, it's happened on the last lap, so it's going to be difficult for her to have. She'll certainly be thinking about it and figuring out what happened. These bikes, you know, there's no slipper clutch. There's no issues like that. So you can see Michaela here, who looks like she's going to win the race.
Yeah, it does. And she tips it for the last time into turn 14 and sends this Continental GT 650 through the gears as she climbs up toward the checkered flag here at Road America and wins the opening race of the Royal Enfield Build Train Race Series here at America's National Park of Speed in a beautiful Saturday afternoon, I should say. And I'll tell you what, Crystal Martinez, you got to give it to her. She hounded Sonia for a long time. Sonia had that little problem down in turn 8, and Crystal, who finished second here last year, gets another second place. So she keeps that momentum alive. But Sonia Lloyd delivering a message there that, yeah, I'm going to be somebody that you're going to have to be dealing with here.